Now, Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Sajid Premadasa, says that the stipulated price for paddy must be revised in accordance with the increasing cost of living. Speaking at a media briefing today, the parliamentarian pointed out that the paddy farmer is amongst the poorest in the country.
The paddy farmer is among the poorest in our country. When you look at the national income, the paddy farmers claim between 4 and 6%. However, the richest 20% in the country enjoy 54% of the national income. The deputy leader of the United National Party pointed out that the cost of living has increased beyond the stipulated price for paddy. Despite there being a stipulated price for paddy in the country, this figure has not changed for some time now. There has been no revision in the stipulated price imposed on paddy despite the inflation, and the cost of living in the country had significantly increased. Although the government said that it will purchase paddy between 28 and 30 rupees, the current price for paddy stands at 17 to 18 rupees.
ආණ්ඩුව කිව්වට 28ට 30ට වී ගන්නවයි කියලා අද වී මිල රියල් 17යි 18යි.
Sajid Premadasa proposed a stipulated price of 40 rupees per kilo of paddy.
රජයේ කියන 28යි 30 සහතික මිල ප්‍රමාණවත් වන්නේ නැහැ. ගොවි පවුලක මාසික වියදම සම්පූර්ණ කරන්නට.
The government stipulated price of 28 to 30 rupees is not sufficient to sustain a farming family for even a month. At the very least, if the government has any sympathy for the paddy farmer, if it really does care about the farmers, then I propose that a stipulated price of 40 rupees be given to the farmers per kilo of paddy. The current administration must take full responsibility for the fate which has befallen our paddy farmers.
සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම වගකීම බාර ගන්නට ඕන අද අපේ වී ගොවියට අත්පත් වී තිබෙන ඉරණම පිළිබඳව.
You're watching news first. Up next is Action TV.
The family garden of Chandana Rupasinghe, a labourer at the Peradeniya Botanical Gardens, is scented and made colourful by these two flowers. Although Chandana looks after these two and the flowers at the Peradeniya Botanical Garden, his children are of greater importance to him. Chandana's eldest son Sandun obtains his education at the Gannorua Junior School.
I study well and teach my brother too.
Sandun has shown his skill in achieving one of the aforementioned targets. Sandun's target of educating his only younger sibling is deemed not only as a passion but also a responsibility. With the appointment of Palitha Alkadua, who commenced his professional life as a schoolmaster, to the position of Central Province Education Secretary, Ranabima Royal College, Gannorua was opened in order to provide comprehensive secondary education to talented youngsters like Sandun. Ranabima Royal College, which was opened on the 2nd of March 1996, offering grade 6 education, has now progressed to offering education from grade 6 to advanced levels, covering all subjects in all three mediums of instruction. In accordance with the Central Province Education Ordinance No. 3 of 1990, the Central Province Chief Minister decreed on the 25th of July 1995 that an open examination will be held for students who wish to continue their academic activities at the Ranabima Royal College, Gannorua. In accordance with the sub-clause of this decree, since 1996, 10 students from the Gannorua Junior School who have qualified to enter grade 6 have been granted admission to this school. Students who surpass the cut-off mark in the examination and 5 students who exhibit talents despite not making the cut-off mark have been selected through a competitive examination every year. Sandun was placed 10th out of the 18 students who sat for the examination from the Gannorua Junior School this time. However, Sandun has exhibited exceptional talents.
I was 1 mark short.
Other than for Sandun, 9 students from the Gannorua Junior School have been granted admission to Ranabima Royal College, while 2 of these students have been granted admission to national schools in Kandy in accordance with the marks they obtained in the grade 5 scholarship examination. Of the remaining 7, although Sandun scored lower marks than the 4 students who were selected on the basis of special skills, in the field of having special skills, he is far above them. While the task of shielding Sandun has fallen to his mother, he is not yet mature enough to understand some of the symbols in her language. Chandana too speaks of the injustice that has been done to his son to the numerous people who come and go at the Peradeniya Botanical Gardens who do not even have the same level of knowledge that Sandun does of sign language. Is it justifiable to fill the student vacancy at Ranabima Royal College while overlooking the deserving Sandun? Governor of the Central Province, this one is over to you.
United National Party parliamentarian Ravi Karunanayake participated at a function held in Maligavatta this morning.
The function was held to hand over copies of the Holy Quran and school uniforms to children from low-income families within the Colombo urban limits, in view of the Holy Prophet Muhammad's birthday. The Akram Foundation organized the function.
අද ඉස්කෝලේ යන අවස්ථාවේදී නිල ඇඳුම් දෙන්නේ නැති අවස්ථාවක අධ්‍යාපන පොත් ටික දෙන්නේ නැති අවස්ථාවක
At a time when school uniforms and school books are not being provided, we have to commend the effort taken by private donors to hand over school children with their basic needs. 21 billion rupees was spent on the Data Kirula exhibition. The area has now turned into ruins. We should all unite to rebuild this nation. And I wish to remind you the need of the hour is religion and values and not whimsical dictatorial rule.
මේවා ආගම් සහ ගුණාංග තුලින් කියන එක මිසක් අත්නොමතිකව සහ ඒකාධිපති පාලනයක් තුලින් නොවේ කියන එක මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ මතක් කරන්න කැමතියි.
The majority who make a pilgrimage to Kataragama never forget to make a visit to the Yala National Park.
But only a few have been fortunate to witness a leopard in the wilderness of Yala. A recent study has shown that the Yala National Park has one of the highest recorded densities of leopards in the world, although this animal is still considered to be endangered.
News First Manjula Premaratna visited Yala recently and filed several reports on this endangered animal. Starting from tonight, News First goes deep into the habitat of one of Asia's most elusive big cats.
Although Sri Lankans talk about elephants and crocodiles, less is spoken of the leopard, which is endemic to Sri Lanka. Leopards are the key attraction at Yala, and sometimes it is overcrowded with local and foreign tourists who visit the park mainly to get a glimpse of the elusive big cat. Incidentally, this is the first time in Sri Lankan history that a local news network engaged in such a venture to file a comprehensive documentary on the leopards of Yala. This effort was taken by News First in order to raise awareness among Sri Lankans about this endemic species. The leopard population is believed to be declining in Sri Lanka due to numerous threats, including poaching for trade and human-leopard conflicts.
Last year, a leopard died after being knocked down by a vehicle along the Batiklo-Habarana road. In January this year, a leopard was gunned down by a hunter. Recently, 3 leopard cubs were handed over to the Dehiwala Zoo. But the leopard mother was killed by an individual. Unfortunately, the 2 cubs did not survive for long. In this backdrop, we at News First decided to visit Yala and learn more about this endangered animal.
News First අප ගවේෂණය කරන්න තීරණය කළා.
The ecosystem along the southeastern coastal belt of the country is rich in many diversities.
The Zone 1 map of Yala clearly indicates that the Sri Lankan leopard resides at this location.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා දිව්‍ය ඉතාමත් පහසුවෙන් දැකගත හැකියි කියලා.
Now we venture into the wilderness of Yala in search of the Sri Lankan leopard. Although many foreign and local tourists have sighted leopards at the Yala National Park, authorities have only spotted 35 leopards so far.
Yala is considered as a safe haven for Sri Lankan leopards.
Filming leopards in the wild is no easy task. However, our cameras were successful in spotting several Sri Lankan leopards. Tomorrow.
An individual placed a coffin opposite the Siamalandua police station and commenced a hunger strike today. Now he says that an injustice has been done to him by a group of policemen at the Siamalandua police station.
The individual, who is said to be a resident of the 2nd Mile Post area in Siamalandua, arrived opposite the Siamalandua police station this morning and commenced a hunger strike along with his child. He says that a group of policemen, including the former officer in charge of the Siamalandua police, had filed false charges against him in 2008. He says that after 5 years, the courts had granted him an acquittal, finding him not guilty.
I am facing a lot of problems with regard to my child. I was expecting justice from courts for the false charges these officers filed against me, but I have not received such justice. However, the officers who filed the false charges are still serving at the police station. I hope they will receive the proper punishment and that I receive justice.
The protester says that although complaints had been lodged with high-ranking police officials on several occasions, no action has been taken as yet.
DIGs, ASPs, all of them have lied in the documentation, and I have all the evidence to prove this claim. They lied. I can prove this. There is no point in telling them. I want to take this to the Inspector General of Police and the President. Until they open their eyes to this, I will engage in this hunger strike continuously.
We made inquiries from police media spokesperson SP Ajit Rohana in this regard.
It is not suitable to take actions such as this 5 years later over an incident that took place in 2008. The other factor is, if those connected to crimes come and hold demonstrations like this before the police, then there will be a miscarriage in the enforcement of law.